Welcome to Football or Soccer, the podcast with me, Sam Palmer, and in Arizona, the Big Tone, league champion,
League
2025.
champion 2025.
I think I can say congratulations now. It's done.
No, I don't know. Let's save it.
Don't be
Let's
so
save it.
stupid.
Let's save it until
Yeah.
until it actually is real. Because if you say it now, when we actually win it, you say
Doesn't
it
feel
again,
as good.
It's not going to mean as much.
No, it don't feel as good. So it's yeah, look, as you would have thought, a routine game against Southampton, but nearly turned a bit sour. They went 1-0 down. Calamity between Van Dijk, one of the worst, best centre backs of all time,
I know,
and
the keeper and
Alisson.
the goalie,
Yeah,
the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, weirdly, like them two making the mistake, but it was a mistake. And then came back. I wish I'd have got this stat actually. Salah, I said this to you on Saturday. Salah seems to like he takes a penalty every week.
I know
Liverpool must have the most penalties in the Premier League.
But he, when he takes a penalty, he fucking scores a penalty. Because
Great
you know
penalty
what?
taking.
Like, if you would have looked at him, I think it was maybe 3 seasons ago. It might have been 2, but he missed a few. He missed.
Yeah, he
like
did.
2
Yeah, I
or 3
remember.
on the run. And I think he's just such an animal of a man that he fixed it. You know.
Yeah, well, I think that's all about penalties if you've got the bottle to do it. Keep going up.
To do it, but his penalties, they go 1,000 miles an hour into a place where it's not even possible to save, even if it was going slow. You know.
I think the best strikers, though, actually, they don't care about missing. You know, like it doesn't. I think the best people, they can miss chances.
Yeah.
You think Ronaldo's missed penalty in Champions League final? He's missed big penalties, actually, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
It's funny, you think of Ronaldo, he scores everything. But he's missed big things. But he just
mean,
wipes it off.
Is that without going into the Tony Robbins realm, is that not a rule for life? You're going to miss a lot of chances.
What is it? Michael Jordan quote is,
I've
missed like 70% of my shots or something like that, like in my life.
I think it's you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. I think.
No. There's one where he's like, my score rate is like so low down compared to what he shoots, and he's saying, I'll just keep going. Like, it's kind of in life. If you don't take the shots, you don't get the get the goal sort of thing, and it is true. But anyway, Liverpool.
Neither of us know what the quote is.
So obviously, yesterday, and that's what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on 2 managers because I watched, and I'm going to start with Spurs. I watched Spurs yesterday, and I know I've changed my view on Ange over the time, and I even said I think he'd suit West Ham, and that's because I think the fans would actually go for it, probably more so. After watching Ange yesterday, I actually wrote down, I think this guy might be one of the biggest frauds in football.
I don't know. I don't know how you can call him a fraud. Like,
because
what do you mean a fraud?
I think he's got us bought into that he does this great style of play and all this stuff. And I actually think he's got away with it because we love him so much in the media. And he is good.
But
he's great for a neutral.
He used to be good. Now he just...
Yeah, he's a bit negative now. He's got a bit miserable, hasn't
he? Yeah.
I watched Spurs yesterday pass out of that back line in the first half maybe 20 times and got caught 15.
Yeah.
And I just looked, and I actually looked at Bournemouth, and I just thought, what a team. To be honest with you, I don't know how Spurs got a point, and I suppose you can say...
Yeah, they were lucky.
Did Ange do well with his tactics? I don't think so. I think they just got a lucky cross shot that went in, and a cross it was that went in, and then they kind of got the home fans behind them. But it was absolute idiotic. It was pass out, defence lose it, keeper save it. To be fair, the keeper did make a lot of saves, even though he was actually at fault for the goal as well with Romero, who made the ridiculous pass across the back line. But it was. I saw an analysis on Match a Day after because I wanted to see if I was right with what I was seeing, and they basically said the same. And they just said the keeper actually was at fault for most of it because what he did is, say the ball went off for a goal kick, he hurriedly put it down where Spurs hadn't even got out and kicked it. And he said, this actually, and they showed you how it favoured Bournemouth because Bournemouth were already up because it would say it was their corner, let's just say Bournemouth. It went out, he grabbed the ball and tried to restart really quick. But all of the Bournemouth team was still in Spurs' end, basically. Everyone.
We've spoken about this before. I think it's a manager's ego. I think there's a lot of managers' ego
I've got to put him in the
it.
Russell Martin bracket now at Southampton of just doing ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
The same over and over again. And I used to think it was, well, it's because they haven't got the players. And yes, to an extent, maybe with better players you can get away with it. But I think that is it. You get away with it.
The manager is there to win games regardless of what players they have.
I completely agree.
Not to win games regardless of what style they play. You know, it's I mean, listen, but Vincent Kompany did exactly the same last year. Now he's the manager of Bayern Munich, you know. So
it's telling these managers that there is an end game to this.
Yeah.
I really do think that fans are kind of getting worn out with managers' tactics.
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
I do, yeah, because, you know, it's like Everton, right? Everton have tried for years to have expansive, I don't want to say expansive thinking because that's a little bit insulting to David Moyes, but expansive football thinking managers where, you know, they've had Marco Silva, who was, I actually think he's a brilliant manager.
Yeah.
Obviously Ancelotti. Then they
Martinez.
You know, Martinez as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they landed on Deitch, and now they've gone to back. Pretty much, they've gone back to David Moyes, and it's probably the best run of games they've had in.
Can't remember the last time Everton lost.
Yeah. I think it's you know that kind of thinking. If you got the players, and by the way, Spurs should have those players because they don't. It's not like they're not tight with the money. Spurs, they should have those players, and he hasn't been there for half a season. He's been there for what, nearly 3 seasons now. Yeah, they should. He should have done better.
Spurs fans, they gave a big cheer at one point when Vicario kicked the ball long to Song, and they actually got in and had an attempt at goal. And the Spurs fans give a big cheer to it, as if to say "Hey, we can actually do it." I think Spurs fans have really. I actually think Daniel Levy is letting Ange get away with it almost because he's taking the flack from the fans at the minute. And Ange is almost getting away with it a bit. I know a lot of Spurs fans and they're not happy. It's funny, I called my brother-in-law Jay. I forgot he was actually at the game. And I called him and I said, I'm watching you and I've got to say this guy is the biggest fraud in football. He just keeps doing it. And he went, yeah. He said, the mood over here is poison.
Yeah. I mean, Jay's been a Spurs fan all his life, hasn't he? So, you know, he knows more than most. I mean, they have to somehow qualify for the Champions League this year. They have to. Oh
no, forget that. There's no. The only way they can do it is by winning Europa.
They're not going to finish in the top 4, but they could win that Europa League.
They're 1-0 down in the first leg.
Yeah, but they're gonna beat them. They have to. If they don't beat them, he should resign. It wouldn't even be a case of him being sacked. If they don't beat them at home by at least 2 goals, he should be like,
Team West Ham beat on the way to the final as well. We beat them in the semis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Alphabet FC, AZ Alkmaar. But yeah, I agree, and I do think Spurs have got the most to win that trophy. as much as I'd hate to see it, because then they would get in the Champions League next year.
But they if let's just say it was them in Man United in the final, they would beat Man United.
Yes.
They would.
Yeah. We'll get on to them now. It's funny. I'm going to start this. Obviously, we all know that I love Roy Keane, and anything Roy Keane does.
Oh, here we go. Roy Keane for Man United manager. Don't even
see. Teddy Sheringham said it this week.
Oh my God, Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Ed said it.
The great.
He said, "There's only one man. Get him in there."
Here.
No, what I will say about Roy, he is never, ever, ever wrong about a player. I know he goes hard.
You could never not say he was never ever wrong. But I know what you're saying. Listen, 99% of what Roy.
No, he goes too hard. What I'm saying, he goes, because what I'm going to say is the James Maddison one the other week. Obviously, James Maddison, game after, scores, does that. Not featured since.
Yeah.
And I look at him and I go, you're completely right. Like, why would Spurs be thinking, oh, Maddison's back? And it's all right, Maddison giving it the bollocks to Roy Keane, but he's been on the bench since. And he comes on, does very little. Now, this is a guy with
all right, okay. But
a lot of talent.
Back onto Spurs now. We're going back onto Spurs. So, all right, he is right about Maddison. He's right about most things. But I'm a firm believer that a club like Manchester United and Liverpool, or maybe even Arsenal, Chelsea even, should never go back. You never take backward steps, and that would be a backward step. That's like a
forget that. Right, I forget Keane manager, because I'm actually not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. It was more about the players, because the one I wanted to come on to next, and I do agree with Roy Keane on this. This week, he dug out Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, Bruno goes and scores an amazing goal.
Yeah,
right?
which was Ray's fault. Because he should never.
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny. I watched Shay Given last night talking about that, and he didn't seem to think it was. Now, they're all going on about the wall was too far back, which the referee measured it out, and obviously Arsenal were a bit too honest and didn't take a couple of steps, which most people do, and it was 11.2 yards, I think it was, instead of 10.
Yeah.
So he gets it over. It was an amazing goal, right?
It was.
But again, I agree with Roy Keane, because did you watch that Arsenal Man United game?
Yeah. Yeah.
The first half was I could only describe it as a testimonial and the death to football. And I looked at Manchester United. I've got to say, because I love Manchester United. I'm a West Ham fan, as everyone knows. But Manchester United were a team of us growing up, right? So, and I'm suppose it would be a bit like our dad's age with Liverpool. You've watched greatness. And so, and City in some sense with our team. I hate seeing a club like that be dog shit and to the point of they should be relegated. Because I looked at them the other day and I agreed with Roy Keane so much about Bruno Fernandes. He does nothing. Yes, he scores a goal because his talent lets him score a free kick. Like, he's so talented. There's no doubt about this guy is so talented. His technical ability. So give him a free kick. He can score it without a doubt. He's done that against Everton the other week. He's done it against Thing. But in the game, just passes him by. I see what he's talking about, and I am such an advocate of it.
He's what we used to call a luxury player.
Yeah, that guy. Don't do the tackling, walks around, throws his arms up everywhere.
Just win the game for us. Everyone else will put the work in. You win the game for us. But
that used to be all right.
And that's not what that player's ever been.
Well, it used to be all right if you've got a team that has work rate. This team
if you've got
has
players
got none.
who will do all the work for him, but he's expected to win the game, do all the work, fucking clean the kits. Like, he's expected to do everything, and he's not that type of player. And it's actually not even that type of player. He doesn't seem to have that type of mentality because when it's not going for him, he starts. He's the classic throw his arms up in the air, start throwing himself on the floor as soon as a player comes within 2 feet of him. So yeah, I completely agree with you on Keane there. He's right. He's a great player, but he
What
should
I'm
never
saying
be
is,
Man
I looked at
United
that
captain.
team in the midfield. You had Bruno, Casemiro, and Eriksen. Right?
Mm.
It was like I look and I go, how on earth is Christian Eriksen still at Manchester United? Like,
And by the way, how can you expect to play against one of the best midfielders in the Premier League? Well, probably,
yeah,
yeah, probably
world
second best
football.
midfielder in the
Yeah,
Premier League with Ericsson and Casemiro.
two geezers you'd expect to be playing in the MLS
They've
right
been
now.
very good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They can play in
Amazing
the
careers. That
MLS
we're
and
not
be,
disputing their careers like
yeah,
that, without a
but
doubt.
they shouldn't be playing in one of the biggest games in the Premier League for Man United all season against
It's
one of the best teams.
outrageous. And I'm looking at it. Dallo, right footer playing at left wing back. Okay, I know they had injuries, but every time he cut inside and give the ball, he gave it away. It was honestly like watching a school kids game. And I don't know if you saw before the game, Manchester United warm up on the pitch, but they show their whole shape, right? They do this weird thing that I've never been seen before. And I don't know if it was Stephen Warnock. Stephen Warnock was talking about it on the TV. And they said, can you believe what we've just seen? And basically, Man United line up on the pitch with all their shape in the warm-up, and then they do their set pieces in the warm-up, the market, things like that. So anyone watching goes, right, okay, I know what they're doing now. Okay, great, we're set up, which is...
No, I didn't see that.
Stephen Warnock said, I've never, ever seen that in the whole of my footballing career, someone do that. He said, what are they doing in the week? He said, if these players can't understand it, they need it on the match day, there's something really, really wrong.
Yeah.
And
I mean, listen,
I'm
long may it continue. I know you said you love Man United for some weird, but I don't know why you love Man United.
No, because I always respect how they play because they were best footballing team.
Right, but that was 20
my
years
era,
ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it is. And do you know what? I just don't like how it's gone. I think it's.
I don't know. How it's gone for them. I love it.
Do you know what? I was actually thinking. I was sitting there thinking, how do you get out of this? Because obviously, Glazers are to blame, Ineos to blame, like less so, but there's got to be a. Like, I was actually thinking, if I was head of Manchester United supporters group, what would I do? And I think the only way you get rid of American owners is you got to starve them out, right? The minute you get rid of their money is the minute.
Well, how did Liverpool fans get rid of American owners?
I don't know.
Well, we had Hicks and Gillette, remember?
Oh, yeah, Hicks and Gillette. I forgot about them. Yeah, I always think they were the same. They weren't, no, yeah.
Liverpool fans, I know people have their opinion of Liverpool. Most people don't like Liverpool fans or whatever, but they made it their business to get rid of these fucking people. And we got other American owners. It wasn't about getting rid of American owners.
No, just bad owners.
It was about getting rid of bad owners,
which the Glazers now have proven, I think, that they are. Or it's
mean,
not working under their regime because they have put in the money. That's the problem.
How long have they owned the club for?
Long time. It was Ferguson that brought them in.
I think it's about 15 years. I think it's about 14, 15 years. But the thing is with the Glazers is they don't give a shit. They don't care.
And
they've got more money than anybody. They're already billions up on buying Man United. If they
exactly that. And I think if people as humans, there's only so much shit you're willing to take. Like Mike Ashley, in the end, got rid of Newcastle. He couldn't, they were driving him insane. And then you look and go, well, I don't really need this. Now,
yeah, but Mike Ashley I think you've got to think the Glazers spend 99.9% of the time not in Manchester.
No, but if they've got a thing that's losing money, and going to get
But it's
relegated
not
and
gonna
things like
lose,
that.
man. It's impossible. For
No,
Manchester
but what I'm
United.
saying is that's where the Man United. If I'm a Man United fan, if I'm head of the Man United supporters group right now, anarchy is the only way, I think.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that.
And
That's
I don't want
absolutely
to
I
say
agree.
this, but
Yeah.
because you're going back to the dark times of football, right? There's two ways that I think I would do it. Firstly, you've got to starve them off commercially. So
Which is impossible because the fan base is not based around Old Trafford.
well, I
It's
thought about this,
all
right?
around the
So
world.
if you put it out, right? So obviously you've got to try and cut it off. I think all the Man United fans, most Man United fans are on board, right? So what you need is you need a figurehead, someone very famous, which Man United would have extremely famous fans.
Like who?
Let's just
But even if they had a famous fan, there has to be a famous fan who's willing to put their reputation on the line.
that's what I mean. But let's just say
cause
Manchester
chaos.
City, they got the Gallaghers, right? So you go to them. You go firstly,
okay.
Mick Hucknall. You go to people that are Manchester United fans. Like, no, but I know there's bigger ones. Stormzy. You got people in different
I think
areas,
Stormzy's
right?
a Liverpool fan, you know.
No, he's not.
Is
He's
he?
Man United. Big
Is
Man
he?
United fan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
All right,
so you've got your big Man United fans. So firstly, you go to them, people with a social following. And if you've done it properly, and then what you could do, because obviously you've only probably got to not go to games for a month to it to be really, they probably wouldn't even
Well,
get
yeah,
to a
because
month.
sponsors would start to pull away.
That's exactly.
And
then,
Yeah.
so you do that. Someone create the anti-Man, because what I was thinking of, mums are still going to buy their kids a kit over, like their kid's birthday, they want a kit, right? You make an anti-Man United kit, right? Like something for this revolution,
Well,
right?
that's what the yellow and green is, isn't it?
Yeah, so you make something cool. You get Stormzy in to do something and do it, and all the proceeds of it go so people can still buy something for the
Listen.
club. Now you've got funding. And then you get to that game and you get on that fucking pitch every minute of every game. Now, people will get
What do
arrested.
you mean? Get on the pitch?
You just get on
The
the pitch when the
fans?
game's on, get on there, you disrupt it, you cause carnage. And in so many different things, in different levels, you cause carnage. You got an American fan base out here, you know, where the Glazers are going to their sports teams' ears, you turn up, you go mad. You have to cause anarchy to the point that they go, we're out. Someone else's problem.
Yeah, listen.
It's the only way you're going to get them gone.
Listen, it's not. It's only about 50% less of what Liverpool fans did when Liverpool fans forced Hicks and Gillette out. But I don't think you'd be the first person to have thought about that stuff. And
No, I'm sure. I'm not
think
even a
there's
Man United
obviously a
fan,
reason
but
it hasn't happened. I don't know what it is, but there's obviously a reason it hasn't happened.
there's a point.
But anyway,
listen, I suppose
listen,
the point
let's
is
say
people
the
don't want to get
Glazers
arrested.
go. Let's skip a couple of steps, right? Let's say the Glazers go. Let's say they get forced out. Bought by who?
Well, probably Saudi or someone like that.
So then Saudi buy them, and then what?
Well, they go in. What do you mean? Go out and
I
repair
mean,
the club.
what changes
Well-
if they have a different ownership?
Well, if someone's actually got the right vision, like Manchester City, then they.
But Manchester City are different though because they came in they came into Manchester City at a time.
No, it's only the same
similar
as
to
Newcastle.
Roman.
Newcastle owners, which is Saudi, come
Right,
in.
but so
With a
then
plan.
let's use Newcastle as an example, right? So the Newcastle owners are the richest football club owners in the world. They were having to sell players last summer to
Yes, that's
comply
because of
with PSR.
FFP, without a doubt. But what I'm saying is they've put a structure to the club. Like, I know he's not there now. Dan Ashworth came in. Recruitment. They had a plan. Look at the players they've brought in. Anthony Gordon, Isak, all got
Yeah.
better value. Young players, better
I
values.
think that's a personnel problem, mate. I don't think it's a ownership problem because Man United.
Well, they haven't got the right
poached
people in
Dan
the right
Ashworth
jobs.
and then sacked them a few months later.
No, they never sacked him. Man United took him.
No, but Man United have now sacked Dan Ashworth.
Yeah, but that's obviously the problem with that is they've decided that he's going against something that they've done.
But okay, well, I mean, we don't know what that is, but what I'm saying to you is that it's not an ownership problem. If the
Well, it is because they've obviously not got the right
are
people
just
in the right
taking
jobs.
piss, what?
They've obviously not got the right people in the right
That's what I'm
jobs
saying. It's a
for everyone to
personnel
succeed.
problem. It's a personnel problem. It's not an ownership problem because
Well, the ownership's going to dictate of who's in the roles.
well,
If you own the club,
the Glazers have been involved like on a management scale for 15 years. Then you brought Ineos in, and they're ballsing it up as well. So they have the wrong people in, is what I'm saying. I'm not the listen. I'm if the Glazers own Liverpool, I would be the same as any Man United fan. I wouldn't want them to own Liverpool either. But you can't keep making bad decisions over and over and over again and blame the fucking ownership when the ownership has tried to change things. The ownership has had, I don't even know how many managers, probably 5 or 6 different managers. All these managers have been terrible. You know, it's a
or
personnel
maybe they
problem.
weren't. And actually, when we look back, hindsight's a great thing because Mourinho finished second, Ollie finished second or third. So those people actually maybe did a bit better, and actually the fans probably wanted a bit more. They wanted to go for to win the league at that time, and they couldn't actually get there. And actually the fans that's the problem with football. Fans have got too much opinions. They weren't happy with second at that time. Well, now they bite your arm off for second. But I do, it's a mess. It's getting more of a mess every week.
Listen,
and I actually think they got away with it this week because Arsenal was a shit.
Fucking Arsenal.
Do you know what?
Oh my
We're going to
God.
take a quick break before we come on to
No.
our
We
favourite
can
subject.
carry on going. We can carry on.
We can carry on going. All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna. So let's get into Arsenal. And I actually wrote this down yesterday because is it time Arteta goes?
I mean,
Because yesterday was.
I don't think so, but
It's funny,
I'm
isn't
not
it?
an
Because
Arsenal fan.
it changes week by week. But I looked at it and I thought, you're going for a title. You've petered out in the title. You're now closer to fifth than you are first. And Merce said it yesterday, and I actually don't think he's wrong. He said you're now in a race to stay in the top four, and because they keep getting bad results. There's three games now without a win.
A catastrophic.
It's 3 games without a win, and bear in mind, 2 of those games were against West Ham and Man United.
Yeah, but West Ham and Man United are 2 emotional teams for Arsenal. Do you know what? What I saw yesterday and in our group chat there, I mentioned this. I've never thought that Mikel Arteta was maybe not the right person for Arsenal until yesterday, and the reason
I'm
why,
the same.
well, the reason why I thought it, and I like this lad as a player, very much like him. He'd walk into any midfield in the Premier League, any midfield, and everybody who's ever met him, who I know, including yourself, has said he's a fucking great lad. But the way Declan Rice celebrated that goal, I was like, that says something really wrong, because he ran over to the corner after equalising against 15th in the league.
Yeah.
When this was Arsenal's last chance to really put some pressure on Liverpool, and the reason why is because before yesterday, I think we were 15 or 16 points ahead, and Arsenal would play 3 times before we play next in the league. We'd have a game.
Oh yeah, because you got the
in
League
Andover.
Cup this week, hadn't you?
What's that?
You've got the League Cup this week.
Yeah, the final. Yeah. But anyway, we we could have had a little bit of pressure there because we don't play until next month in the league, Liverpool. We don't play until I
Why?
think it's April 2nd.
Oh, because
Well,
there's international
because the
break as well, isn't there?
international break, but also obviously the league cup final first. So they could have cut that um, the lead down to I think it was either 6 or 7 points. We would have
Yeah.
had a game in hand, but psychologically, 6 or 7 points is very different from 15 or 16 points. So I don't know why when he scored, he runs over shushing the United fans. When was it? It was like the 80th minute or something they scored, right?
Yeah.
There's 10 minutes left. What he should have been doing is running to the back of the net, grabbing that ball, taking it away from the goalie, and fucking launching it right on that centre spot and saying, let's go again. Because this
I
is our
actually,
last chance here.
I actually think Dex, because I've got to give it to Dex. I've met Dex a few times. I actually met him when he was a young kid. He's there behind me actually.
I know.
But I actually think, and he hasn't told me this at all, but I think there's probably a huge frustration with the Arsenal fans at the moment. I think there's a huge frustration with him. I think you saw it after his
Well, there is. We know that because we know Arsenal fans.
Yeah, they've been on his back for a while. I think the celebration might have been a bit of a screw you to his own fans, a little bit.
But even if that's the case, even if that is what it is, I don't think it was because he did it to the United fans.
No,
So
I know, but I
don't
actually think it was probably the bit of that, like.
Yeah, but it's not like if you're.
I do agree. Listen, I do agree, and I don't want to get on people's back for celebrating.
No,
and
no,
things
I'm
like
not.
that.
No.
It shouldn't
listen,
be down to Declan Rice to rescue in a game against Manchester United, who were piss poor as well.
They were poor. They should have been out of sight by half time, Man United.
And you know what? Arsenal fans have given it to me all week since their 7-1 win in the week. And obviously they've done so well and all this crap. PSV haven't been beaten at home in 2 years. We're the best. We're going to win the Champions League. And this is where I say to Arsenal fans, this is why you are absolute gold for people like us, because you get carried away after one win again. And then when you lose now in the Champions League, I am going to hit you so hard and let you know that you're bottlers again, because there is no chance.
You know what, though, mate? I think they'll get to the final. I do.
Weirdly, I actually fancied them, even before the season started, to win the Champions League this year. But I don't think they will. But things can happen in the Champions League where it's cup competition, so things can happen. I think so.
It could be a Liverpool, assuming obviously Liverpool get through against PSG.
No, Liverpool and Arsenal are on the same side of the draw, I think.
Oh, are we? Okay.
I think Villa and Arsenal. I don't think it can be an all-English final. I think you're all in the same bracket.
Okay. Because I know it could be a Real Madrid Barcelona final. I know it could be that, but I don't know. I know we either play Bruges or Villa in the next round if we beat PSG, which by the way is going to be some game at Anfield.
Is it this week?
Yeah, it's on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. In actual fact, Amrit, that's the job I got for you. I need my TV in the office working. No, I need to get that done. No, in at the office, because it's so I can watch football at work, because they're on at 12 o'clock here.
That's gonna be some game.
Yes, I agree. And then you got Madrid, big one.
Oh no,
Villa
Liverpool's tomorrow. Sorry,
it's tomorrow, is it?
No, Liverpool's tomorrow.
We got Newcastle today, West Ham. So we're Monday night every week at the minute. Like it seems to be every week we're Mondays. So we've got.
Oh that, yeah, you're today against Newcastle, aren't you?
Yeah, which really we should be looking to win that, because I don't know if they've got Gordon or Hall or Isak, and they've got cup final at the weekend. So
what, is Gordon suspended?
I've got a feeling he is. Yeah.
Well, I know he's suspended against Liverpool on Sunday.
Oh, then he is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I think we could have a little win there. But yeah, going back to Arsenal, something else that I think was a piss take, to be honest with you. Raheem Sterling sitting on the bench, and they bring Kieran Tierney on up front
Yeah.
to win him a game. A guy that
Yeah.
doesn't even feature in the squad really anymore. I think that was a bit of a piss take. I
Yeah.
think Sterling's never really got the run of games. Look, it hasn't worked for him there. Hasn't worked for them.
He obviously mustn't be doing it in training or something because they needed a goal yesterday and they had no outlet, and Raheem Sterling,
Well, the
that's
fact
what
he
he
hasn't
does.
started one game up front makes you
Yeah.
like he's actually ridiculous. You would say,
Yeah.
but bringing a left back on up front,
I know. When you've
that's
got
kind of the
Sterling on
ultimate.
the bench.
Sterling might as well not turn up today, mightn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Might
he's
as
just
well
been
be
told
like,
you're
"Listen,
useless.
I've got the flu for 6 months."
Waste of time.
Yeah, waste of
But
time.
and that's where you got to look at and you think, could they not have got something out of Sterling in them times? Because it's not like he's had a fatal injury and he's coming back from that and he hasn't really come back.
No, he just
There's a
hasn't-
player in there. We've all seen it.
He had, what was it? He had probably two great seasons actually at City.
More.
No, I don't think so, you know.
He did.
I think he only had a couple. No, I know he played for City for longer, but I'm saying he had two really, really good seasons as
The one where they won the league where he was the false nine was the he's 30 years of age. He's only just 30 as well, which is
Yeah.
but he did play from very young, Sterling.
Well, he played for Liverpool at 17, I think he was, when he made his debut for Liverpool. Because we
Yeah, I
took
suppose,
him
look, he had three standouts where he scored 23, 25 and 31 goals.
at City.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay.
his first two, he scored 11, 10, 23, 25, 31, 14, and then his last season at City, 17.
Oh, really? Did he?
Yeah.
And then they got rid of him.
Weirdly, Chelsea, 9, 10.
Yeah,
So
but
he still
that's
scored 10 goals. But bear in mind, he's not playing up front for them.
No, but he started most games for them. He played a lot.
Yeah,
for
and
Chelsea.
that's where you look and you go, how much could Arsenal have done with 10 goals this year? Scored one for Arsenal, but hardly any starts, really.
If only he could have played right wing for Arsenal, because he would have been perfect as a replacement for Saka on the other side, couldn't
Well,
he?
that's it. And that's what they keep saying about Saka. Can't replace him. Listen, I disagree with that. You should be able to
Well,
replace
listen,
him.
even before, like, people were talking about Saka, and Saka's brilliant, but they were still, it's not like they were winning the league when Saka
No, exactly, with
before
Saka.
he got injured, you know?
No, I'm in agreement. I think Arsenal, I think I can understand the fans' frustration now. 3 years in a row, they're not there. Listen, they ain't even in it. It's like that.
No.
Keane said yesterday that they've not even put up, like Liverpool have just been complete. They're their own competitors.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can lose half of their games now, Liverpool, and win the league.
And we've lost one all year, so it's not gonna
Which I
happen, is
think
it?
that also, yeah, exactly, and you've lost one all year. So you can now lose half your games and win the league. And as I say, it doesn't take anything away from Liverpool, because that's where I'd say Slot is very different, right? His game management, I think, has been
It's
outstanding.
superb. Yeah.
So against Southampton, he took 3 people off. Curtis Jones.
At half
He
time
brought on
as well,
Elliott.
which Jurgen Klopp never used to do. And listen,
Yeah.
I'm not, believe me when I say I'm not criticizing Klopp. I fucking adore Klopp, but it's very different. Klopp would never have done that.
No, most managers won't. And like you look at Ange and things like that, Arteta, but what game management? You're looking and going, he's seen the problem. Brought on Harvey Elliott come on against PSG, scores.
Yeah.
seems to be
Salah,
ready.
by
And
the
I was
way,
actually a
and
bit. I thought maybe he'd get a start on Saturday, but he did. He didn't.
no,
He
because if
come
you
on
start
again.
Elliott, you're going to have to drop Salah,
Yeah,
or I guess you could
I think
play
you're
in
going to
centre
see
mid,
Liverpool
but
start rotating that team a little bit now because of the Champions League. Because why not go for it?
not before after the international break. Because you think about it, right? Tomorrow is huge for Liverpool. If we beat PSG tomorrow, if we get through against PSG tomorrow, I'm not super confident, by the way, because PSG are by far the best team, head and shoulders above any of the teams we played this year. But I think because the second leg's in Anfield, I do think we'll get through it. And then obviously we've got the co-final on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then is the international break, and I think if we get through these next two games, depending on which players have played where during the internationals, he might start to rest one or two for the Champions League. But it's not a given. Like the league isn't. The league's done. The
Listen, you're only
league's
one
done.
up, and PSG battered you in the first game, so
Oh mate,
they definitely
I've never
most
seen a
one-sided
team.
game that you won. Do you know what I mean? So it's not
It
like
was
you're playing a load of
outrageous that we
mucks.
won. It was
PSG were one of the
outrageous.
favourites. They've been so in form, and actually be unfortunate to go out if they go out
Yeah.
because they have actually been brilliant in the competition, which they haven't been over other years. I know they got to the final the other year and lost, but they've been probably the best they've been in Champions League this year.
Who's that lad from? So they've got Dembele, right? Who's
Yeah.
outstanding. Who's the lad who they signed from Napoli? I think it begins with a K. Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I don't know. It's
Oh,
funny.
he
I
was
don't actually know.
amazing. I can't remember his name, but he was unreal. Liverpool were actually linked with him in January, and then he went to PSG. And if those two are on form,
Yeah, I've watched them a
because
bit this year, PSG, because they've been so exciting to watch. Like with the highlights I've watched of them in the Champions League, and I think they've looked really good. Like they've blown teams away. But Arsenal are still in it.
Arsenal
Villa are still chugging away. And what Villa have got as well is a manager who knows how to win Europe.
know.
Because he's
He
done
does.
it so many times. He's a
does.
master of Europe, Emery. Obviously, not Champions League. I don't think he's ever won the Champions League. I think it's more Europa.
No, he's won the UEFA Cup though, the Europa League about 16,000 times.
Yeah, he's won it loads of times, hasn't he?
Yeah. But if we get Villa in the next round, I think we beat Villa. I'm not. I
Tough
think
game.
Oh, very. Of course it is. Yeah. It's quarterfinals.
You know what it is? When two British teams play like that, it's kind of, you're also going to get
It's like the derby, isn't it? It's like
you're going to get that
Everton.
superhuman strength from the crowds as well, because Villa Park's also another place. And I do think that business that Villa done of Rashford, Asensio and Marlon that they bought in, kicked them up a gear. And they're very good. They've got a great keeper, good back line, great midfield, and then a great forward line. They got goals all over that.
I think he leaves, by the way, this summer. Martinez.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's
he
Emery,
doing
you
at
mean?
Villa?
Who? Oh, Martinez, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I don't.
What's he doing at Villa? He's in a talk for the best keeper in the world. Apart from.
I don't disagree. But if they get Champions League again, I think that probably keeps him. Because he probably can see a bit of progression there. Because Villa have got money.
Yeah, I know they do, yeah.
And they seem to be building. And there's something good happening with Villa. And I've got to say, I really like watching it.
I like Villa as a football club.
Yeah, good football club. And the ones I want to just finish on, the ones I love, Forest. Beat City this week. They could be real contenders for third.
They're going to get
for Champions League. That was a huge result this week.
Yeah, it was. I think we spoke about Forest last week, and I said I think they're going to fall out. Get Champions League. Now I've changed my opinion. I think they get it,
and I think that will change week by week at the minute. Obviously, you
Yeah,
get a
but there's
couple of
not, mate,
injuries.
there's not that many games left, though.
No, exactly.
There's not that many games left.
They honestly, it was a very boring game to watch against City, to be honest with you, because they just nullified them.
Well, Forest are not the most attractive team to watch anyway.
But they played it perfectly.
Yeah.
It was so good. And Hudson-Odoi, obviously the old Chelsea boy, got the goal. Great finish as well. But they really, really good what they're doing. I'd love to see them do it. Because I don't know, I think it's so nice to see a club that don't ever get a chance and been out of it so long. Imagine their fans been out of it for nearly 30 years in the Premier League, and then they're back and in Champions League. It'd be unbelievable.
It would
so
be
yeah,
good to
hopefully
see them
Forest finish it up. I've got to finish it up there because I've got to actually go and do a business call now as well.
All right. Before we finish it up, what's your prediction for tonight?
I fancy West Ham are going to win 2-0.
Really?
Don't know why, because we ain't conceded a goal in 2 games. This 3 at the back seems to be working for us.
You happy with Potter?
Yes, I am. I'm not happy with the team. I think we need to put it in Potter's hands because I do think he knows probably better than what's going to go on. I heard this week that the typical West Ham way was back, and whether it's true or not, who knows?
What is that typical? What is
Angel Gomez, who plays for Lille, I think it is, or Lyon, the English guy who was at Manchester United, the central defensive midfielder. His contract's up and he's available on a free. So apparently he's hot on our list. So as well as a few other clubs, and apparently we started our opening offer to him with a really derogatory price.
That's all like West Ham. What are you talking about?
So basically, the report is that we're already well behind other clubs and we've pissed him off. So that's when you look and go.
West Ham always sounds like, remember, did you ever used to play a championship manager or football manager?
A bit like they're playing that.
Sounds like that.
And that's the shame. If we left Potter to go and do it, and his guy, I can't remember his name, the recruitment guy, who they've obviously signalled, this is a guy that we need for next year.
And he's a good player, him. Angel Gomez.
Go and get him.
He played for England.
Yeah, he played for England. He got man of the match, I think, on his first game. But yeah, he would be great for us. But obviously, I think there's people like Spurs in for him. There's other teams. He's on a free. So he actually makes good sense. Obviously, you're going to have to give big wages for him, I would think, because he's on a free.
But he's young, though, isn't he? So I'm not sure how much wages a player of his age can command. But I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if even Liverpool were looking at him because...
Well, I didn't say that, but I think they were in the mix as well. I'm sure Liverpool, Newcastle, Spurs. So West Ham, apparently, we were quite advanced with him early. That was where we thought we could nip in. And then just basically, I think we've been talking to him for a while. And then there was an interest. They gave this bid and it was... it didn't say, but it sounds like it was like half of what he wanted.
So what you're saying is it sounds like they were dating him. Said they were going to wine and dine him.
And
said we were
going
to treat you like a princess. Yeah. And then took him to McDonald's.
Yeah. I think so.
Sounds about right.
Not even McDonald's, Wimpy, I think they took him down to. So that's where you look with West Ham. You don't know what's going to happen. There's a big clear out needed. We've got a lot of players out of contract this month. Ings, Antonio, Cresswell, Soufal.
They'll all go though, right?
Although I've got a feeling we are going to do the West Ham. Fabianski's another one. I think now any other good club would say, yes, look, you've been great servants. But yes, time is time. But I think we're going to give another year to Antonio, which is crazy, just out of pure blindness. But unfortunately, football's not nice. And I actually think Cresswell's going to get one as well at 36 years of age.
Ings won't, will he? Fabianski won't.
No. Fabianski could, but again, let him go. You've got to. You can't just keep clinging on. He's 40 years of age. You can't keep clinging on to people. We've got the oldest squad in the Premier League. We have to say thank you. And unfortunately, we're a bit too nice to players, and we keep
They're
them.
not doing it to be nice. They're doing it to save a few quid. Come on, we know.
Well, yes, without a doubt, yes, because you've got to replace these, but you've got to replace them at some point anyway. So, unfortunately, we've let all their contracts go down, so we're not getting any money from them.
Yeah.
We should have let them go.
Well,
we could get
also,
money from them.
what are you going to get for Ings, Fabianski? What are you going to get?
No, now, but if you'd have sold them 5 years ago when they actually were, then you might have got them. But yeah, no, listen, it's they've been great servants to the club, all of those people, and I wish them the best. And if they keep them, I'm happy. But I think West Ham to progress forward, they need to go and get younger players. I'd like to see us buy younger British players and give the academy a bit more of a go. That's what I'd like, or younger Championship players. That are taking that step up, like we have with some of them.
Okay, so I know we've got to wrap up, but like who?
I can't, but I'll give you examples of players that we bought in the past. Bowen, Cresswell, like that sort of player.
By the way, is Bowen out of contract? No, he's not out of contract.
No, he's got a long contract.
He's got to go.
Bowen won't go anywhere.
You don't think he'll go?
No.
Do you think Bowen is West Ham Steven Gerrard?
In some ways, yes. I think I would be extremely, extremely shocked if Bowen was to go anywhere now. I think he's the captain of West Ham.
How long does he have on his contract, do you know?
7 years.
What?
6 years or something. Yeah, he signed an 8-year deal last year.
From now?
Last year. He's got 6 left, I think.
Yeah, he's going
so
because no one's paying him.
I think the difference is he's married to Danny Dyer and they live in the area. Her mum and dad's there, her family's there. I think that is a big pull for does he want to up sticks and move to does she I think with East London girls like that, who's very sort of family orientated, I think that does come into it. And then it probably comes into it, like, as I say, his father-in-law's Danny Dyer, huge West Ham fan. All of them things, I think, probably pull into it where they go, you're the main man here. You're the captain.
Yeah.
You might go to Liverpool, let's just say,
Liverpool
and not start every week.
Liverpool wouldn't sign him just because of his age, but I would.
No, I'm using that as a thing.
Yeah.
But you might go there, not start every week.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like desperate for trophies. And then in some ways, like I looked at Declan Rice the other day. He's funny, like players want to win trophies, but and Gerrard, let's use Gerrard. I know he won trophies, but we use him as an example as well. At the end of your career, to be able to walk through the streets of Liverpool as a king, or like Mark Noble, can go anywhere in East London, and you're a king. And
be treated like,
What means more? And in some ways, you're still playing the Premier League.
This is the
you're still
dilemma
playing
that
football.
Trent Alexander-Arnold finds himself in right now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose, and look, I suppose when you're a top level player, there might be the things where you want to win the Champions Leagues and things like that.
But he's already...
But like Shearer, right? Shearer only won one league title with Blackburn.
Yeah.
He has no regrets about not joining Manchester United. No. Zero. He's actually the perfect person to say.
He is. He's actually the best comparison to Bowen. Yeah.
Never won a trophy at all. But no, I suppose it's different with Bowen because Bowen's not from West Ham. He's not an East London boy.
That's
from
true
Hereford
as well.
Like he's not. That's what I mean. He's not. That's Shearer was from there, and he went
local lad.
I'm gonna be
first, wasn't he? Southampton first, then Blackburn, and he could.
And then he just decided that he would rather godlike status over trophies. And I think when you look back, I think fans get a bit obsessed with trophies and things like that. Like Harry Kane, for example, he's gone out to Bayern Munich. Will anyone care that Harry Kane in 10 years' time won a Bundesliga?
Yeah.
Or would he have been able to walk through London for the rest of his life with Tottenham fans saying, Harry, let us buy you a beer. Like, you know, like, what means more? Like, because your career is a lot shorter than your life. And I suppose there's that bit that I think, that I've seen it with Mark, and we'll sit in a restaurant and people come over and talk to him and he gives time. I've seen dads see Mark in a restaurant, go, get their kid out of school and bring him back and have a picture, which is mad. But that's godlike status.
So you don't think Bowen's going to go, though?
No, I'd be, the only thing that Bowen could go is if the club decide, because like this year, we need money.
How old is he, though? He's 29.
No, he's not as old as that.
I think he is, you know.
So I think he's 27. Because Kudos was going to be our big Sal this year, but has had a terrible year. So he's going to be worth, he's 28. He's just 28 December. Okay. He's 29 in December. So Kudos was going to be our big money Sal this year that was going to prop up the thing. We were thinking about 85 million. Well, his season has been so bad that we're never going to get that money for him. And we need money this year bad. So it could be the club say, sorry, Jared, you are going. Yeah. That would be the only way. That would
be nice. That wouldn't be good for, that'd be a terrible sell. Yeah.
Right. I'm wrapping up. I've got to go do this call. Thanks for everyone for joining in. Give us a follow on YouTube, Instagram, Football or Soccer Pod. Give us a rating. Help us get up the charts. And we will be back next week. Hopefully Liverpool's lost so I can at least have some fun. Because it's no fun having to go Arsenal fans anymore.
Fuck the Reds.
See you later.